Today is the anniversary of my father's passing away, and he was one of the most influential people on my life. And so many of us have spoken about resilience this year and how do we create resilience within ourselves. We all need resilience to handle everything. And my father really did teach me about resilience. And this got me thinking about what is it that actually creates resilience? What do we need to be doing, and what kind of mindset do we need to have in order to become resilient, in order to be able to powerfully manage the extremes of life that we are all faced with? Out of this thinking, I came up with what I'm calling the 3 R's of resilience. Because in order to be resilient, the very first thing that we need is we need to have a robust mindset. But what does that mean? And for me, that means having a deep inner knowing and a deep trust and a certainty that I will be able to deal with whatever it is that life throws at me. It's very easy for us to focus on all of the negative things that are happening, and because of everything that's going on, to feel completely overwhelmed. But if we look back from where we've come from to where we are today, we can see that we already have been robust. We already have dealt with so many of life's challenges. So focus on those, make note of those, and celebrate those. And when your mind goes off into these negative spaces, just gently bring it back to remind you that you do have everything within you that you need in order to cope and manage and thrive in this incredible thing called life. The second R that I want to talk about in resilience is being resourceful. And so often we look only to ourselves and the limited resources that we think that we have. And yet, given the opportunity to really think for ourselves, to think creatively, how often have you come up with solutions that were beyond or out of the box of what you currently knew? Being resourceful for me is also like mimicking nature. Nothing in nature operates in isolation. So what resources do you have, whether it's in your community, in your family, within your teams, and within your business, that you can draw on, that can become the nourishing soil for you to grow, the beautiful rain and the warm sunshine, that will give you a sense of resourcefulness and a sense of joy as you take the next steps on your leadership and business and life journey. The third element is the element of responsibility. If we are going to rely on external circumstances to bring us joy, to bring us happiness, to bring us a sense of fulfillment, then we are going to be in deep water, because those external circumstances change in an instant. However, if we can develop and grow and get very real with ourselves around what it is that we are feeling, instead of resisting how we feel, instead of resisting those negative emotions, just simply allow those emotions to pass through you. Every emotion and every feeling passes. We want to hang on to the joyful ones, and we want to resist the ones that we perceive to be negative. And yet, if we observe the way life works, it all passes through us. So instead of resisting, or instead of holding on to those emotions or those feelings, can you just allow them to pass through you? So that when life throws up a challenge, instead of reacting in the same old way that you always do, or telling the same old story that you always tell, can you, in that small gap between the event happening to you and your reaction to that event, can you in that gap make a new choice? Can you in that gap choose a more workable response to what is happening around you? Because that really is what responsibility means. It is our ability to respond to life in a way that empowers us and in a way that allows us to take ownership of those feelings. Because the way that we respond to life is really the lens and the filter through which we perceive and view our life. When I was sitting with my dad on his deathbed and I asked him if he had any regrets, he was able to say to me, none. Because the way that he responded to life was to grab it by the horns, was to take every opportunity to celebrate life. So what is it that you can do today to ensure that you build that resilience within you, that you too can live a life with no regrets, that you don't miss out on this magical moment that is present right now in front of you? Thank you so much for listening to this video and being with me on this video today. If you'd like to find out more about the work of the Alchemy Academy and what we do, please drop me an email at heather@heathercreswell.com. I would absolutely love to connect with you.